Good day, everyone. First, I'm going to introduce myself. I am Japamay Al Salvador, and today I'm going to discuss the types of assessment. So, there are four types. The first is formative assessment, second, summative assessment, third, the diagnostic assessment, and lastly, the authentic assessment. First, let us know what is the formative assessment. So, formative assessment, it provides feedback and information during the instructional process while learning is taking place and while learning is occurring. Formative assessment is a type of assessment that is conducted during the learning to provide and support to both teachers and students. So, formative assessment is an ongoing and provides feedback during the learning process. Example, the teacher will ask questions to his or her students to assure if the students understand the lessons or not. By doing this, the classroom will have an engaging atmosphere and helps the students to enhance their critical thinking skills. Or the teacher will give a short quizzes after the discussions to assess the learning of the student. Second assessment, the summative assessment. So, summative assessment takes place after the learning has been complete and provides information and feedback that sums up the teaching and learning process. Summative assessment is a type of assessment that is conducted at the end of the unit, course, or instructional period to evaluate student learning and assign grades or scores. Various forms of summative assessments, such as final exams, essays, projects, these assessments are usually graded or scored based on predetermined criteria or rubrics. Summative assessment evaluates the student's performance, learning, academic achievement at the end of the instructional period. Next, the diagnostic assessment. So, diagnostic assessment can help you identify your students' current knowledge of a subject, their skill sets and capabilities, and to clarify misconceptions before teaching takes place. Diagnostic assessment is an evaluation conducted at the beginning of the learning process or instructional period to gather the students' prior knowledge, understanding, and skills. This assessment will help the teachers to identify the students' strengths, weaknesses, and learning gaps, and so helps the teachers to tailor their instructions to meet the specific needs of each student. Various forms of diagnostic assessments such as pre-test, pre-assessments, or diagnostic interviews. We are now to our last assessment, the authentic assessment. Describes the multiple forms of assessment that reflects students' learning, achievement, motivation, and attitude on instructionally relevant classroom activities. Authentic assessment focuses on assessing students' understanding of specific topics and their ability to apply that understanding to the real world scenarios and problems. Example, in baking class, the teacher will not just give a multiple choice or essay to assess the student learning, but the teacher will let the students demonstrate how to bake a cake to assess the student's understanding and learning and skills.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Althea Salazar Galdo, together with my three co-reporters, and today we will be going to talk about innovative technology for teaching, learning, and assessment tasks. So here is the introduction. Assessment, learning, and teaching are closely connected and interwoven because each provides information that can be determine effective instruction. In the process of conceptualizing a plan on how to teach, as the learning outcomes are put in place, the next step to consider is how these are to be evaluated. This is an important part of instruction because the data gathering in this phase of instruction will inform the teacher whatever the student have actually learned. Of that, the teacher has to be considered better approach in teaching. What is ICT and assessment of learning? Assessment is very important in student learning. There are many approaches to assessment and learning with their emphasis on the process of learning, along with the product of learning, the ultimate measure of student competencies performance, development along the product education. com- Communication technology has thrown open numerous possibilities for assessing student learning and providing immediate feedback. So, it is a process of identifying, gathering, and interpreting information about the student learning. The use of ICT helps teachers record, store, and retrieve student information and result of examination easily. That's the end of my report, and my three co-reporters will continue the report.
To help students to become college and career ready, we need to teach them how to apply what they are learning in school to the practical and intellectual tasks in everyday lives. Good day everyone, my name is Melbert Steve Obeja and I am your last reporter in the topic the role of ICT in assessment and learning. And for my topic, I would like to discuss the current trends in assessment and learning. So this current trends is a 21st century trends in assessment and learning. Number 1, utilizing multiple measures of assessment. So in this trend, it includes high school or college transcript, attitude surveys, and interview. It uses more than one assessment measure to assess a student's abilities. Number 2, increasing the use of technology. So as we can see nowadays, we are really engaging various types of technologies in order for our learning ways to be more easier. So technology-based assessment, it is a methods that can be a powerful way to assess learners' knowledge, skills, and attitudes. For example, online quizzes and tests, digital portfolios, and multimedia projects. And for number 3, focus on growth and development of the learner. So in this trend, for example, is a system of well-constructed formative and summative assessments allows students to demonstrate their abilities and knowledge and then reflects how close they are to meeting goals and standards. And for the last one, we have number 4, differentiating the roles and the responsibilities of the teachers, administrators, and other stakeholders. So we need to consider, or we need to be more conscious about the roles and responsibilities of the teachers, administrators, and stakeholders. For example, what are the rules or what are the roles of the teachers? So, for example, the teacher is the one who's assigning homework, grading tests, documenting progress, and keeping up with parent communication. And the administrators, their duties and responsibilities is to manage data in spreadsheets and reports, keep records and reports up to date, helping maintain the budget plan, and also organize and schedule meetings and events. And for the other stakeholders, for example, is the parents and the guardians support classroom learning and home and provide input to school policies and procedures. So that concludes my report and thank you for listening and God bless you all.